Okay, so you want to know if zero to homeschool actually works, right? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how it works and share a case study that gives you a real life example of how zero to homeschool worked for one overwhelmed and stressed family who have gone on to homeschool happily and successfully for years and counting. So in order to create your fantastic homeschooling foundation, there are 3 steps that you'll follow. First up, you will embrace your weirdness. And by that, I mean the things that make up your family's personalities, the stuff that makes you you. And because every family is unique, our education needs to be personalised to work. So we'll go deeply into deschooling so you can separate what you think you should be doing from what you actually need to be doing. And you'll also stop believing all those negative comments people are so fond of throwing around. You will do a few fun personality tests and assessment that will help you understand what makes you and your child tick. And you'll create a family mission statement or manifesto that really articulates your family's goals so that you know exactly what you're aiming for. And these goals are not just academic, we're looking at all of life because you can't separate education from life. So when you've done these steps, you will have a really deep and useful knowledge of yourself and your children. You will know what you want to achieve, and therefore you can easily decide what to focus on. You won't be shooting blind, you won't be choosing curriculum and crossing your fingers hoping that it will suit you, and you will make much better choices. And you'll have so much more confidence because you're making decisions based on knowledge, like you actually have a roadmap to homeschooling for your family. So Eva was one of my very first members. She actually did the beta testing session of Zero to Homeschool back in 2017, and she says that getting that email with the invitation to help me test the course was a lifesaver. It was exactly what she needed. She felt lost and anxious and overwhelmed, and she couldn't really picture what to do except school at home, which is how a lot of people start out. So in the first section of the course, Eva found guided deschooling invaluable, and it helped her to get into a better mindset and also to stop beating herself up because she wasn't holding school up as the right way to do things and therefore thinking that anything that deviated was wrong. And it's been surprising to see just how valuable people have found the personality stuff. It is something I hear back consistently that it was incredibly valuable. People get huge benefits from this knowledge and always comment on it, and they have a bit of fun with it, which is great to see. And so that's why I focus on family centered homeschool. So, like Eva, you've probably heard people tell you to be child led or child directed, but I noticed years ago that that advice tends to lead to burnout and exhaustion and even resentment because parents focus on their children to the exclusion of themselves and they run into real problems. And so I say that the entire family's needs have to be acknowledged and respected. And that is the best way to avoid burnout and actually have a good time. Okay, so next up, you'll learn about all the key areas you need to master for a successful homeschool. You will cover the basics of homeschooling styles because there are lots of them and they all have wonderful ideas for learning. You'll learn how to research and choose great learning resources that match your mission, your learning styles, and your personalities. And you'll also put together a plan and work out how to organize your life so it all actually gets done. So after you finish these tasks, you will be able to pick resources that actually suit your family, so they will be effective and enjoyable. You'll be able to ignore the stuff that doesn't suit you, so you'll avoid all that overwhelm and FOMO, and you'll also avoid a lot of wasted money. And you'll get the essentials done without feeling like you're always juggling too many plates and dropping half of them. So if we go back to Eva, when she started out, she was really worried about making decisions and planning and scheduling and how on earth to fit everything in. So again, that's really common. We're usually busy enough already, and then we discover we have to cram more in. And when we believe homeschooling will be all we're doing for 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, it seems impossible to fit it all in. But after going through Zero to Homeschool, Eva felt much more confident choosing resources and activities because she was basing them on that deep family knowledge she had. And that had the added bonus of meaning she stopped second guessing herself. So you probably know how that goes. You need to make a choice, you're not sure, so you dither and you over research. And finally, you choose something, but as soon as you do, you start wondering if your second choice would have been better, and purchase regret kicks in. So we all know that feeling, but for Eva, doing the course eliminated that. So she had much more headspace for more important things, which is basically everything else. Okay, so on to step 3, which really makes the course work for people. And that's where we take action because you can't actually make change happen without action. So you will do achievable activities that give you instant positive results. So you'll begin using your chosen resources. You will implement your plan and your schedule, and you'll also learn how to make review and assessment a standard part of life. And this is really integrated into the entire course. So there are small achievable activities the whole way through that help you put the information into action. And that's everything from deschooling reflection to the personality quizzes to assessing learning resources. And at each step, you're implementing stuff that makes homeschooling easier. So when the activities are done, you will have resources and activities that work. You will have a schedule that works. And you'll also have an environment that does quite a lot of the educating for you. So essentially, you will actually be homeschooling in a way that suits your family, and you'll have hard proof that you can homeschool successfully. You will know that you can do it because you will actually be doing it. So if we go back to Eva, she was really impressed with the activities. She said they reduced the overwhelm and paralysis, and she loved that they provided targeted choices to help her when she didn't know where to begin. And they also helped her to create a homeschooling program that passed with flying colours, which is great to hear. So I don't provide specific registration help because it varies so widely, but by going through Zero to Homeschool with your registration requirements in mind, you can create a plan that works for you, but also for registration. Okay, so let's step back and look at what Eva thinks of the entire course. So at the time we chatted, she was in her 3rd year homeschooling, now with 2 children, and she still refers back to Zero to Homeschool, and she loves that it's step by step and logical, and she found it very easy to follow when she was tired and stressed out. She thinks daily about the Big Rocks parable that I share in Module 3, and she uses it to guide their schedule. And I love this term that she uses, homeschooling at the speed of life. So she loves having the flexibility built in to be able to detour into sudden interests and questions, and know that the basics and core education are being covered while still leaving plenty of time to follow rabbit trails and learn at their own pace. And finally, Eva and her kids are actually enjoying homeschooling. So I love that she uses the term opportunity and privilege in here because that's really what homeschooling is. It's a privilege to be able to take part in that journey of learning with them and share our lives with them, and both the good times and the wonderfully frustrating, as Eva puts it. It's all life. So if Eva's story sounds like the sort of straightforward positive progress you would like to make with homeschooling, I would love to have you join us in Zero to Homeschool. So when you join, you get instant access to all 8 modules of the program with all the information and activities you need to master homeschooling. And you have that access as long as the course is online, so including all updates, new content, any live sessions I run, you get it all. And I do tend to give discounts and even free access to other stuff that I do as well. So in the course, we'll work through all the essential areas you need to know about: deschooling, homeschooling styles, choosing resources, planning, juggling your housework, socialization, how to review and assess, and lots more. And finally, I've included planners and worksheets and specific activities. So you get a weekly checklist to keep you on track and guided questions to help you think about and apply what you're learning. So in the feedback, people say that this is fantastic. It is yet another way to actually apply the learning and to be organised. All right, so to sum it up, here's what you can expect if you join Zero to Homeschool, and this is based on feedback from over 400 people who have done the course and filled in my feedback forms. They commonly report results like their kids learning because they want to, they get more love and fun and less fighting in their day-to-day life, there's far less stress and work for the parent, they see more independent learning skills in their children, and overall, they're all doing a lot more learning with a lot less effort. And you can see people's testimonials on this page. There's quite a few of them. So scroll up and down, have a good read, see what you think. Okay. And finally, let's talk about guarantees. So if you're not happy, I'm not happy. And if you join up and you decide the course is not for you, and you tell me within 30 days, I will give you a full refund. You don't even have to tell me why. I will ask because I'd love to know so I can use your feedback to fix it, but you don't have to tell me. So you can literally join up, view all the content, and if you don't feel that it's useful, I'll refund you. So it is completely risk-free. So if you think that sounds like exactly what you need, if you want to have more fun and less fighting and more learning for less effort, then you can join up now using the form on this page. I would love to help you have a wonderful family-centered homeschool, and I hope you can join us.